Hi, Cara. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really excited to have this conversation. Thanks
Yes.
for having me, Jillian.
Yes, me too. So let's start with telling us who you are and what do you do?
Excellent. Yeah, so I'm Cara Tyrrell, founder of Core4 Parenting, and my background is in early childhood education. I'm a trained teacher. I'm a mom of three, and they're grown children at this point. And so founding Core4 Parenting has been a journey for me, and this is a culmination. So we are a company who creates community courses and live coaching programs for new moms. And our goal is to support first-time moms specifically, and then as they turn into toddler moms having more babies, with the tools that they need to approach parenting from a really conscious, intentional place, design their relationship with their child, and support their kids with the skill sets they need to truly be kindergarten ready.
Oh, I love that. There was nothing like that around when I was having my babies. And yeah, that's definitely
Hear that
something
all the
I
time.
know that can be used. Yes. How old are your kids?
17, 19, and 21.
Oh, so you're up there too with me. I have a 21, 16, and 11-year-old. So kind of in the same bracket. But yeah, there was nothing like that when we were having our kids. There was no resources to go to or anything. So I love that you have created this for moms who are feeling, because those baby and toddler years are overwhelming, it's stressful, tiring, and just to have a place to go to and turn to is amazing.
Yeah, it's been amazing to the feedback that we are getting. We get a lot of what you just said, right? I wish I'd knowns. And so our goal right now is to turn all the I wish I've knowns into, oh, I'm so glad I knew.
Yes, yes. So I think as mothers, we kind of always feel like we're doing it wrong, like that we're going to mess up our kids. I know I was always afraid of like, is this what my kid's going to talk about in therapy later on? So how can we as mothers feel like we are giving the best to our children and not hopefully messing them up like we feel we are?
Yeah, there's a gap between what we think we're doing and what we're actually doing. And moms who feel that, and that might be the second most prevalent thing we hear. I'm afraid I'm messing my child up without even trying, right?
Yes.
Um, Moms who think that are doing their job and doing it well. If you have the presence of mind to worry about it, then it matters to you. And if it matters to you, you're attending to it more than you even know. And you're doing it really well. There's no perfect parent. There's no checklist that we can give you, because here's the deal. You're a unique human being with your own personal traits and the things that come really easy to you in the way that you relate to other people. And so is your child. And those might line up beautifully. And for those moms, wow, we are so thrilled for you. You speak the same language, you think the same way, you see the world the same way, but that's not typical. And so the work that we're doing is figuring out how we best interact with other people, how our child, like observing our children for who they are and how they really thrive in communicating with others, and then doing the big work of speaking to them in a way that they understand and teaching them the skills that we worry that they won't have when they go out into the world.
Yes, I know. I always say I don't parent my kids the same way because they're all different. What works for one does not work for the other one. So I've had to adapt each time I have a kid to what works best for them. So yeah, it's just, you know, your kid best, so do what you feel is best for them.
Absolutely. I remember the day very clearly, right? There's a few days in our lives that are just kind of emblazoned in our brains, and we can see and feel everything that happened in that moment. One of those for me is the day I realized I needed two sets of strategies to raise two different kids in my same house. And to be perfectly honest with you, Jillian, I had a moment. I was frustrated. I was upset. I felt gypped. I was like, I got this all figured out already. I have to do it again. but it's true. And if we can approach it knowing that that's the truth and that every child we have, it's going to be a new journey and a new exploration and even more beautiful outcomes, then we're going to be okay.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So I know you've talked a little bit about this who before what mindset. Can you explain what exactly that is?
Oh, I'd love to. One of my favorite things to talk. Yeah, so I've kind of alluded to it, right? That who we are matters more than what we do and the expectations we put on ourselves. So when you think about that from a parenting lens, as moms, we need to be looking for clues about who our child is more than what milestones they're meeting and when they're meeting them, and if it's the same as our neighbor's children. And so in order to help moms do this, I walk them through an exercise that I call setting your parenting mission statement. And we flash forward 25 years into the future. And we think about the qualities and characteristics of the adult human being that you want to put into the world because you know they're going to make great change and add great value. And they say things to me like honest, reliable, on time, mean what they say, follow through with their actions. They are conscious and kind. They're a team player. And they start to put together a picture of this person that they're raising. And from that, we can work backwards. And that helps us choose, okay, who am I talking to today? Who do I want to support my child to be? What characteristics do I need to model if that is the long-term goal? And what happens is this beautiful exploration between parent and child. The core four connectors get anchored in a way that you couldn't have done intentionally. You are now connected to your child with open communication, honesty, respect, right? That trust factor that exists between the two of you. And from that place, you can then share with them. So when we're out in public, it's better to say this than this, and they'll hear you and they'll understand why it matters so much.
That is great. Oh, yeah, I think we're so in the moment when they're little, like we never think to who this baby is going to become, and yeah, really doing that visualization. I love that. Like, yes, like I said, I wish I had this when I had my little babies, but I can still do that with my kids now, even no matter what age they are, because we're always parenting.
That is a really important point. At Core 4 Parenting, we speak directly to new moms because we really want to help them with this transition from womb to world and then kind of be that space so that they evolve into this curriculum. But it's never too late, right? We're never done growing. We're never done learning. And as long as you feel safe and confident, right? We need to learn parental confidence to say to our children, I made a mistake. That is not how I should have handled that. Can we try again? I'd really like if we could. It doesn't matter how old they are.
Yes. Oh. Whew. I really, really like that. Oh my gosh. Yes. So how do you help your clients feel more confident, especially in that new mom phase where it's all new, so we don't even know what we're doing, and you can't really feel confident when you don't feel like what you don't know. Sorry, we can't really feel confident if we don't know what we're doing.
Right. It's true. So new mom overwhelm comes from the melding of three emotions, right? You are extremely confused. Okay, so there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of anticipation, but we don't know what we don't know. So we've got the anticipation and we've got the confusion. And then we've got this tricky thing that we do to ourselves especially here in America, because we tend to be either perfectionists or recovering perfectionists. And we put these unrealistic expectations on ourselves. So when the three of those start playing around in our brains, we hijack ourselves. What we teach new moms is that it really is not that complicated. If we can push those things to the side, take off the what we don't knows from our worry list, we actually have a short list of 4 check marks. And we do give you a checklist where you can just know at the end of every day, especially in that 4th trimester, right? I'm doing this. I am doing this thing called being a new mom, and I am winning at this 4th trimester. It doesn't last forever. And I just need to be present. I just need to feed my baby. I just need to grab rest where I can. I just need to create nutrition for myself because I'm creating nutrition for my baby. I just need to make sure that I'm listening to my body because I'm healing. And that's really your only job.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Oh, I'm just like in awe. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm going to say a gazillion times, I needed this when I was a new mom. So a lot of my listeners are entrepreneurs and mothers, and I don't really believe in balance, but how can we align with being a mother and also being an entrepreneur and the many other hats we have to wear as wife and friend and all that?
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? I'm not sure anyone has the exactly right answer. Again, I'm going to say that this very much lines up with who you are, your goals, your dreams, your missions. I'm a social company, right? I'm a mission-based entrepreneur who really feels like these shifts that we make now will help us raise world-ready kids who change the world. Not every entrepreneur is a social-based, mission-based company. If you make a widget, good for you. Like, the world needs widgets too. What you've got to do is choose. What is my long-term goal? Like, where does my entrepreneurial dream line up with my stage of parenting? How much of myself do I have to give to each? And again, I'm going to say it's about setting realistic expectations. I know myself. I am someone who, when I dive in, I'm all the way in the deep end. I'm 100% committed, and I am going to follow something through. So I knew I couldn't found this company until my kids were adults. That's what I knew about myself. Maybe that's not some of the entrepreneurs that you have listening. Maybe they're able to compartmentalize their work, their time and space and self from their parenting time and space and self. Maybe they know they're actually a better mom when they're doing the creative work of entrepreneurship. And so if you have to, forgive yourself the world's expectations and enroll your child in that daycare, or put them in that preschool, or let them stay late for the after school program, because you actually feel more accomplished when you've put out your newsletter for the week and touched lives. And now you can do that evening shift with your child and really be in it.
Yes. Giving yourself permission to do what you need to do that makes you, a better mother, a better person, wife, and all the things by taking care of yourself first and knowing what you need. I do love that. Oh my gosh. That's kind of what I do. My kids go to school, so, which summer's coming, so things are going to change a little bit, but at 2:00, I'm done working. I'm mom. Like, they know that I'm going to be there for them. And during the summer, they're going to have to learn, mom's working in the mornings. We're going to have to, let her be. And then I will come out and I'll be full attention to you.
Yeah. And summer strategies are a whole nother conversation, but aren't they a fantastic opportunity if you have older kids like you do, or even some of your listeners that have kids between 6 and 9 years old, right? Isn't that a fantastic opportunity to teach them some of those independent life skills and that self-regulation and some time management. I have 30 more minutes before I can talk to mom, and some choosing of their own adventure. That boredom that turns into creativity, that turns into something that they made that they wouldn't have done otherwise.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Oh, that is amazing. So thank you so much for this. Like, I know my listeners are going to want to connect with you. So where can they get in touch with you?
Oh, for sure. So they can connect with me online. I've got, at Core4 Parenting on all the platforms, and specifically Instagram is where I'm hanging around the most. So come find me there. We do have a digital course suite that starts at the third trimester of pregnancy and follows moms through their journey and the developmental journey of their babies up until 1 year old. And they can find that on our website, core4parenting.com/courses. And if you're not in that stage of parenting anymore, reach out, because twice a year we run a live group coaching program for moms of toddlers through 5-year-olds. And that is an experience to connect with others in the same space and run through the dual core development curriculum that I designed, that works with you and your mindset and your perspective, like we were talking about today. And then on the back end, I teach you strategies and scripts and systems for helping your child develop the life skills that you want them to have.
I will make sure all of that is in the show notes. Go check out Cara over at Cara, sorry. I'll say that again. Sorry, I did it myself. I said I wasn't going to. Okay. I will make sure all those are in the show notes. Please go check out Cara on Instagram. She has great videos up, and I see that you're starting an SLA class for babies. And ASL. Oh my gosh, I'm like, can't talk today. Okay. And I see that you're starting an ASL class for babies soon, which I actually did with my own kids. And it was so nice to be able to understand what they needed and they weren't just screaming at me. So definitely go check her out. And thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to get to know your listeners.